Taxi Sim 2020 is the latest version in this, what I think is more of an open world game than a driving game. It does offer a multiplayer mode, but you can play by yourself too, with loads of different levels and achievements to unlock. When I downloaded the game, I thought that this may be a new or different version of a really old arcade game that I used to play called Crazy Taxi. That game was really fast paced, it was crazy, you were driving everywhere, knocking everything over, trying to get somewhere in the shortest amount of time. This game though is nothing like that. I would say this is more of a strategy game in that you have to follow the rules, otherwise you don't get a very good score. You can play in a load of different cities, including New York, Rome, Miami, and more. You can also upgrade your taxis as you go and progress through the game, and you earn more money. Call of Gun is a first-person shooter game and really no explanation needed. You go around shooting the bad guys. Overall, I really like the graphics and the gameplay, but in the moment it's only in an offline mode. I couldn't play against other players, and that takes away a lot of the fun of these modern games. I assume they will open that in the future, and that will make the game way more fun. It is addictive enough, but I felt like you weren't given enough ammo, and reloading, picking up ammo was always quite a slow task. Overall, I've definitely played worse FPS games, and I've definitely played better. It's addictive enough though, the gameplay is pretty cool, the graphics are good, so give it a try. Dream League 2020 has apparently undergone some big changes for this year's launch, including a big jump in the graphics and just the way that the players react when you're moving them. For a free game, I think the graphics and the gameplay on this are really smooth. The controls are not extremely smart, so if you do happen to point in the wrong direction when you're passing, the ball will just go exactly where you aim it, even out of play. The other players are also not incredibly smart in terms of where they run, so it's slightly more difficult in that respect. The game in general has a ton of modes, and you can just go in the story mode or the career mode, where you can go and search for players, buy new players, expand your stadium, and do all of that really cool, interesting manager stuff. The game itself, when playing, is a little bit slow at times. I would like the gameplay to be a little bit quicker, especially when you're running into goal after the ball. And the aiming and shooting is a tad two-dimensional. If you are a little bit off, it is just not going to go anywhere near the goal. Overall though, for a free game, I think they did a really good job. The gameplay is quite addictive and definitely worth a go if you're looking for something other than FIFA. Project War Mobile is a really addictive game. I like the story mode, I like the graphics, I like the way it's put together. Overall, a really interesting game. You get thrown straight into the story mode initially after an initial period of learning all of the controls. The bad guys in this instance are zombies, and I was thrown into the Asia map, which is Hong Kong. Actually looks really like Hong Kong, except for all the zombies and the war zone in general. You also get missions in the foyer where you have to complete tasks. It's actually a lot like Shadowgun Legends, if you've ever played that one. The controls also really good. You can hide behind items, you can hide behind walls, hide behind cars, and then shoot around them. You can even throw grenades to the zombies when they come out. They do also have a PvP mode where you get 10 players in a room. Overall, definitely worth a go, and probably my favorite game on the list, one of my favorite FPF games that I played recently. World Robot Boxing 2, a self-explanatory title. This is a classic arcade fighting game that we've seen in a billion of different iterations. But the controls are very simple and the gameplay is fun, fast, and addictive. You have the classic A and B buttons on the right hand side, but you can swipe up and down with the left control stick when you're moving to get some extra moves. You also get special moves that you can do, tap the screen really quickly to inflict more damage. You can also invite your friends to play, and you can build your robots to make them bigger, stronger, and get some different robots too. Another fun game, definitely worth a try, and I think they've done it really well. Warface Global Operations is another FPS shooter game. I think it's got a lot of competition from Project War Mobile on this list. It's got good graphics and good gameplay, although I felt like it was a little bit slow at times. I would have liked more people to actually shoot. It does remind me a little bit of Call of Duty Mobile, but it's definitely not as huge and immersive as that game. It put me straight into a 10v10 in a small room, but I still felt there weren't that many other people to have a battle against. The previous game, Project War, put me straight into a story mode, which I feel is better if you're playing by yourself. It just gives you a little more action. Tennis Clash is one of those games that you just click onto and end up playing for hours and hours. This is a really fun game. It has tons of levels, tons of achievements that you can unlock, tons of different things that you can buy to increase the skill of your player. It's got that classic mobile game story mode to it where you have to keep logging on, keep playing to unlock achievements, earn a bit of money, and buy the upgrades for your tennis player. The levels are easy enough to move up on, and you can actually match yourself against other players, which is the best bit. Let me know what games you like, if you've played any, what's your favorite game, and any games that aren't on the list so everyone else can go and check them out. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.